What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Yes, it's your girl Tanya Marie coming to you again here. Yes, with another one. Have y'all heard about this one, y'all? Ochocinco, yeah, getting sued for $100 million, y'all. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it, okay? So, what happens if Ocho loses the $100 million lawsuit, right? Now, they say laughter is the best medicine, but in a courtroom, laughter doesn't pay any judgments. Right? Now, Chad Ochocinco laughed it off on the internet. He said, "Good luck getting a dime out of me." Now that line went viral, right? Set the internet on fire. But if the lawsuit goes south, that joke could really cost him everything. Because this isn't about trash talk. This is about defamation, reckless commentary, and the price of influence in the digital age, right? We're like, how did this all get set up, right? This all started over a football game. Heated exchange with some words tossed, a fan and an NFL superstar, right? DK Metcalf reached into the stands allegedly and grabbed a Lions fan. His name is Ryan Kennedy. What was said? Nobody knows and nobody agrees on what was said. But online, the story took off like wildfire, right? And now what is said is that slurs were spewed, right? The N word was said, and misogyny all wrapped into one, okay? Happened all out there at that football field, right? And on Nightcap, a podcast with millions of listeners, the speculation, it didn't slow down. It got amplified, right? Chad Johnson allegedly supported the narrative that the fan used racial slurs, a narrative Kennedy says is completely false. Now, here's where it gets serious. Kennedy says that the narrative destroyed his reputation, hurt his business, and put his personal safety at risk. Now, once that bell is rung, you can't unring it, okay? Now, let's talk about if Ocho Cinco loses this case. Let's be clear. $100 million lawsuit doesn't mean $100 million verdict. But it does mean life altering consequences, right? So personal assets are untouchable. Now, Ocho jokes about being broke. Y'all know he loved to say, baby, he don't like to spend a dime on nothing. He always talked about wearing his fake jewelry. Honey, he always talked about him and his ex-fiance. When they catch flights, they catch in spirit. And baby, they was on there eating ramen noodles, baby, on the flight. So he don't pay about his coins. He don't, right? But courts, they don't care about jokes. If found liable, bank accounts can be garnished, royalties seized, and future earnings intercepted. Okay? That includes podcast revenue, all that nightcap money, honey, getting garnished, brand deals, all right, anything from Nike to Gatorade, honey, appearance fees. Y'all know the Super Bowl is on its way, so I'm sure different podcasts, different TV networks are reaching out to the Chad Ochocinco's and the likes, right? Those fees will get garnished. Media contracts, anything he has out there for being on different shows and networks, honey, that's all at stake. Every check becomes fair game, y'all. Now, media companies, they're going to protect themselves first. Now, if Shannon Sharp's media company or other outlets settle or win dismissal, guess who's left holding the bag? Ocho Cinco, right? The individual, right? Corporations have lawyers, they've got insurance. Maybe they have exit strategies. Ocho, he's got his microphone and his words. That's what he got. What could be the long term damage? Even without paying $100 million, legal fees can hit seven figures, y'all. Insurers may refuse future coverage, and brands may start to quietly walk away. And y'all know we done talked about brands exiting before with Diddy, right? Baby, a slight little bit of scandal, they out the door, right? They don't make no announcement, no statement, just silence. The phone just stopped ringing. Baby, they don't call you no more. Now, a judgment, it can follow him for decades. Civil judgments, they don't disappear. They accrue interest, they renew, and attach themselves to future earnings, right? That good luck getting a dime line, a judge might turn it into we'll take it when you earn it, right? So a judge might even say, honey, we don't care nothing about you not be you being broke. Anything you make in the future off these nightcaps, off these future appearances, hand it him. We'll take it once you earn it, right? So, what is really at stake right now? What's the bigger issue? Is that we have to talk about platform responsibility, right? If a court decides Ocho has repeatedly said unverified claims, that could be detrimental. If a court decides he did so knowing the damage that he could cause, that would be bad. And it's the knowing that he has a massive audience, right? His audience, they can be greatly influenced, okay? And that's not opinion. That's reckless disregard. The legal kiss of death in a defamation case, right? So how does this play out in court, right? So the most likely outcome is settlement. It's going to be quiet, confidential. Nobody's going to be doing no victory lap like, yeah, we beat the case. And you know why? Trials are risky, number one. Juries are unpredictable. And public figures, they hate discovery, honey. People, them lawyers going to be digging in text messages, trying to get the behind the scenes conversations, trying to get into the eternal podcast conversations. Nobody don't want to be aired out. Not at all, right? Now, if it goes to trial, Kennedy, which is the Lions fan, they have to prove that the statements were false, that they did damage him, and that Ocho acted negligently or recklessly, right? And if all those boxes get checked, Ocho doesn't lose money, right? He also loses leverage, right? So the best case for Ocho is that the claims are ruled as opinions, right? Alleged opinions, okay? In my personal opinion, it's alleged, okay? That he shows that there's no proof of malice, that he didn't go out of his way to hurt Kennedy, the Lions fan, and that the case gets dismissed or reduced, right? But even then, the damage to reputation, partnerships may already be done, right? Okay? Now, Chad Johnson, he has built a brand on being fearless, unfiltered, and apologetic, right? But the internet, y'all know it don't forget, and courts don't laugh. In the age of podcasts and viral takes, words are currency, right? And if Ocho loses this case, that $100 million lawsuit won't just be a headline, baby. It'll be a receipt, honey. And Kennedy, the Lions fan, honey, he be taking his big old fat check straight to the bank. Man, I wanted to bring this story out to y'all. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. What are y'all thoughts if Ocho loses this $100 million lawsuit, right? What are y'all thoughts? Do you think he will lose? Do you think Kennedy, the Lions fan, has a case? Right? Y'all drop down in those comments. Let your girl know what you think about this $100 million lawsuit, okay, against Ochocinco. All right, y'all. Well, it's your girl, Tanya Marie, here with Bold One for Life, where we want you to be unique, be different, but most importantly, just be you. Thank y'all so much for always coming on in the room and blessing your girl with your presence. It's greatly appreciated. Until next time, y'all. Ta-ta for now.